They don't think you could do it, but tell you to try when they talk. All I hope had to keep it alive. Spend a day in the Bronx, but you wouldn't survive. Can be low when I pop out, they know I've arrived. I go have conversations with Zoe, he gon' tell me pull up and come say what you know. I've been up, I can count all them days in a row. We don't say what we do, we be making the show. They say I'll be
the voice of the Bronx. We have Bronx name, but the guys are out here. Can I get a yeah? Can I get it?
Yeah. Leave them all right where they at. Try to diss me, I bet I don't even react. Put a show and I bet you somebody gon' yeah. I pick me a book up and drink me some water, invest in the stock. All
right, peace and love, world. Welcome to another episode of Conversation with Zoe. Happy school start, beginning of the school year to everybody. Wishing everybody the best of luck. Hope you run a great race this year. Very honored here to have the Dyckman Run Club with me today. I'm going to introduce my two guests today. So we have Elvin Adames. He's an athlete at the Marathon Don. I hope to inspire the world one step at a time. Abbot World Marathon Majors, 6-star finisher, completed 6 marathons around the world. I don't know if we could say been around the world. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's an appropriate time, but that's my only Diddy reference today. But El Presidente del Dyckman Run Club, you know what I'm saying? Yes. Run Club del Dyckman. Coach of the New York Roadrunners and CB board member. CB12? CB1?
CB12, yes,
CB12,
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes. Jenny.
Hi.
Right? We have the Wanderlust, retail and investment banking.
Yes.
We have Jenny Shoots. It's amazing how photography can capture just a split second of something exquisite. How we doing?
Hi, thank you so much for having us. It's so funny, several months ago we met at jury duty.
Yeah.
And I think I asked you a question about the paper we had to fill out. And it was nice to, just have a conversation, listen to what you got going on. And then I shared my story. And we're here now. So thank you so much for having us.
Absolutely. Elvin, how you doing, my brother?
I'm excited. It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be on the podcast. Our first official podcast.
Woo!
Yes.
And we're so excited to be out here. I feel like we're the voice of Uptown, and now we get to connect with the voice of the Bronx.
Absolutely.
So it's a big moment for us, and to be able to do what we do and use our platform to support positivity and health, I'm honored.
Yeah, this is big Uptown vibes for sure. And I remember, because you were telling me you were in banking, so I was trying to, put slice of excellence in there, corporate funding and stuff. You're like, yeah, I'll let you know. I'm like, yeah, I got a podcast too, you know what I'm saying? Check it out. You know what I'm saying? So always trying to, gain a subscriber any way you can,
Yeah.
But I'm glad it all worked out and we're here today, but we're going to get to it.
Yes.
So founded in 2019. So happy anniversary coming up, October 19th, 2024. Dyckman Run Club will celebrate their 5-year anniversary, experience this beautiful northern Manhattan community like never before. We will celebrate by running, walking through a vibrant course and giving back to our community. So how did we get here?
How did we get here? Wow, that's such a great question. Dyckman Run Club, honestly, it's our heart, it's our passion project. Jenny and I were both in banking, and this is something that we do outside of our 9 to 5. In growing up in Dyckman is popular for many things. The restaurants have done a tremendous job of bringing a high level of popularity. And growing up in Dyckman, I just felt like there's always been a barrier to access health and wellness. You want to join a gym, you got to pay a membership. Everything is very, very expensive. And we actually have the largest real estate dedicated to parks in the entire city. Yeah. And it's so much untapped potential. So in our financial institution, we actually sponsored New York Roadrunners around 2018.
Yeah.
Right.
And we received coaching, and we had the honor of being trained by former Olympian Robert Manji.
Yes,
shout out Roberto Manji. We love
out.
you. And he's and just training for the marathon and just training in general, I did a lot of running around the community. And one thing that I noticed is there were not a lot of runners. Running is seen as punitive. If you're in high school or just in general and you get punished in gym, it's like, do some laps, right? Every sport is like, go out there, do your road work. And it almost seemed like something bad. And it's not. So when I was training, and even during our training program, we discovered a new world of opportunity. There were so many health benefits. I lost myself 60 pounds, kept it off. Woo! And yes.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yes. And it's a world of opportunity. And when I was training back in 2018 around my community, a lot of my friends, they would make fun of me. They're like, where you going, Larry Birds? They'll see me with the short shorts.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I was literally running in the park alone because everybody in the running community during that time, they would go to Central Park. But then in our amazing community, we have Inwood Hill Park, Fort Tryon Park, so many amazing areas. And right there, when I first completed my first marathon in 2018, it was just like the epiphany. I had an idea. I'm like, listen, I want everyone to feel what I felt. And then a year later, I teamed up with 3 other of my childhood friends, and we launched Dyckman Run Club 2019. Never look back.
Never look back. So was it an easy scale through COVID because it's an outdoor thing? Or did COVID hinder what you guys had going on?
Yeah. The funny thing is when we first launched in 2019, it was only 6 of us. And growing up, I've always been like a pro wrestling fan. I used to love WWE and WWF. And one of the things that always stuck to me is the way that they market. And it's always weekly programming. So it's Monday Night Raw, Thursday Night SmackDown. So when we first launched the program, we wanted to make it accessible to everyone, but we always want to make it fun and something that really sticks. So what we did is we actually came up with shout out my cousin Nathan, who coined the term Cardio Thursday. So we created Cardio Thursdays, and this was our premier public group run. So every Thursday, and this reminded me of WWE because back then when I was young, it stuck in my head. Every Monday at 8 o'clock, I watched Monday Night Raw. Right. So because of that, that idea always stuck. Exactly. Every Thursday at the same time, we run, right? So we started it at 6:30 every single Thursday. And during the pandemic, we were actually a little nervous at first. I mean, Jenny and I, we had concerns about like, hey, listen, are our crowds, going to diminish? A lot of uncertainty. But the opposite happened. Gyms closed down, everything closed down, and people gravitated towards us. And we're getting so many individuals coming to us that were suicidal, struggling from mental health issues. And they were like, thank you so much for continuing to do what we do. During the pandemic, we didn't cancel not one run. All we did was adapt. We had our face masks.
Yes.
What else we had?
I mean, we stood obviously the 6-foot distance. So it was really, to be honest, I feel like that's where we really grew. I feel like 2019 was where we kind of started the idea, but 2020 was when we really got together as a group, as a community, and we got together and supported one another through those challenging times because a lot of people were losing their loved ones. A lot of people did catch COVID, and this was a way for them to, again, let loose. Don't worry about work. A lot of people also lost their jobs, So we all came together and we all supported one another. Obviously, we all followed the CDC guidelines, so that was something that we did follow. Right. But this is where we, again, were able to grow and really become one.
Right.
Yeah.
So did it take a lot of convincing to get her to run with you, or was it just like she was just down?
Honestly, it took a lot of convincing, So I've always been an athlete at heart. When I was young, I used to do boxing. And growing up, just in general, in the community I grew up in, I just had bad eating habits. So I developed, I always focused on instant gratification. I want to feel good right now, So if I eat sweets or if I eat a cookie or whatever, I feel good right now.
Right.
But, growing up, my parents, they is a low to moderate income neighborhood. They were just working for us to survive. So it wasn't really about getting the best nutrition or developing healthy habits. It's about getting, just getting food on the table and getting to school. Right. And basically, I really discovered fitness later on in life, and I experienced so many health benefits, and it was like almost the universe, because when we were working for our institution, they sponsored New York Roadrunners, and we were working together, and it's almost like we had to do it because they're sponsoring, they're paying, they're like, hey guys, you have to go there and train. And it was something that I always, I was always kind of like a runner, but I never did any of the races. Yeah. And then her very first race was a New York City...
A half marathon. I don't know if you took, it was a lot of convincing, Elvin. I disagree with you on that one. Right. To be honest, he actually encouraged all of us in the office. Right. So I'm a financial consultant and I work in the Dyckman area on Tuesdays. Right. So it was a Tuesday morning, and it's about 6-7 of us. And he obviously, shared popular, sponsoring the Brooklyn half. And we were all maybe hesitant at first, but then was like, you know what? We can do it, because even for myself, I don't have a running background, but I was always active in the gym. And even growing up, I was like a little tomboy. So I was always like, playing baseball or, running around playing tag. You know how it is. And I was like, where do I sign up? So we signed up, and then we used to go to weekly trainings at New York Roadrunner with Roberto Mangi. Thank you, Roberto, for all of your training and support throughout the years. But, we were able to, again, pick it up, and little by little, we got there. And, that was my very first race ever. And it was a half marathon. Normally people start walking or running a 5K, which is 3.1 kilometers, and, work their way up. But for me to have started with a half marathon, super proud of myself. But to be honest, that's where I feel like the sense of accomplishment came in and said, you know what? If I can do this, I can do anything. And it's similar with our cardio Thursdays, right? We have people that come in, as walkers, and then they go into, we have 4 different pace groups, right? And they go to group 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. So to see them evolve and, work from being walkers to 5K runners to 10K to half marathoners and then full marathoners, that's exactly my journey, and that's how it's been for all of our members in the community. So it's been beautiful to see them flourish.
Right, that's amazing. So a little bit of the financial literacy, right? So then we're doing health, finance, like this is like the total package here, like, totally going against all the stigmas that come from, the areas we come from. So for you, how did you move past like the criticism from like your inner circle?
Yeah, honestly, the biggest, I guess, support, or I guess it's just the mentality. I've always known that you, in order to overcome, you have to face challenges. You have to strive. And I feel like I'm the type of person where I thrive off adversity. So when I feel like, I have these challenges or it's foreign territory, not only do I want to infiltrate or disrupt that system, but I want to bring others with me. Right. And growing up, like I just didn't have the education I have now. So I was about getting money, feeling good right now. And the older I got, I didn't understand that the most important thing in life is not wealth, it's health, right? Health before wealth. And once I uncovered that, immediately I wanted to share with everyone. And when I'm growing up, there is a stigma against just running in general, or let's say like really investing in things out of the ordinary. People sometimes resent what they don't understand. So that's why we pivoted. When I became a runner, we really focused on not only developing Dyckman Run Club, but becoming a nonprofit. And now we pride ourselves on being health educators, and we empower the community through the health benefits of running. And that's really what motivated me to overcome a lot of barriers. I'm a Dominican, we're minorities, and there's not a lot of Dominican runners when I started uptown. The parks were empty, right? It was not a sport where we see a lot of our community members, people that look like us, doing what we do. And it was something that really motivated. You know what? Not only do I want to make it fun, make it cool, make it trendy, but at the same time, we can lose weight, we could become smarter, we can get, stabilize our mental health. Right. A lot of us have anger inside or different type of emotions, and these are outlets completely free. What I love about the sport, you could do it anytime, anybody, minimal gear. All you need is a pair of sneakers. There's runners, they don't even wear sneakers. Some I've seen runners barefoot. Yeah. Right? And it's just an amazing thing that everyone can benefit from at any time, regardless of gender, identity, age, or things like that. And that's really what motivated me when we first started, when it was 3 of us and people in the neighborhood were laughing because we were running around. We started 3 of us, then 4, then 6, and now we stand here today, over 500 members. Wow. So it's been an amazing journey. And we've done that in 4.5 years?
Yeah.
Almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years.
Almost 5 years, that's beautiful.
October 19.
So your mission is, at Dyckman Run Club, we are passionate about inspiring our community to embrace healthy and active lifestyles. Our mission is to promote the benefits of running and encourage individuals to take control of their physical health through more than just running. We believe that running can improve not only your physical well-being, but also your mental health. And DRC is designed to help you achieve both. So we're going to break 3 things down between the both of you, right? Mm-hmm. Jenny, you can go first.
Yes.
So to inspire, right? What does that mean to you?
Well, I mean, like Elvin mentioned, we're coming from low to moderate income communities, right? For me, more than anything, I feel like when you challenge yourself on whether you take on new endeavors or whether you're, taking a test for school, right? You have to prep, you have to study, you have to, do a lot in order for you to get to the point where you are able to do it all on your own, right? And when you have that sense of accomplishment, you can inspire others and try to bring it to the community, whether, again, is in a work environment or whether it's in a community environment or in a school environment, right? It's just a matter of, again, how you apply yourself on inspiring the community.
Right.
Beautiful. I love that.
Right.
I can't add nothing to that.
Right.
That
So,
was like,
motivate. Right. So part of the mission statement is to motivate the community. Right. So in what ways do you feel like the Dyckman Run Club is motivating the community?
in every way. A healthier life is a better life. I feel like we just got to get out there. A lot of individuals, they don't know that there's a world of opportunity through health. There's infinite benefits. When we look at America, the number one cause of death is cardiovascular disease, right? So heart disease. And how do you mitigate that? Is through cardiovascular activity. So it's infinite. One of our biggest success stories, we actually launched a senior wellness program in collaboration with the Y of Washington Heights. It was an 8-week program. And for us to be out there working with seniors, 65-year-olds, 77-year-olds, 75-year-olds, shout out to Larry, our oldest member, 74, and to see them, get active, and it's just so inspiring. Like, how can you not be motivated when we have individuals at all different stages of life getting out there, getting after it? One of the things that I love about running is that, and just cardiovascular activity in general, there's certain characteristics that you need in order to just do the actual activity. You need to be determined. You need to have willpower, right? And these are certain characteristics that make you successful in all aspects of life. Right. So these are competencies that you can carry over to the professional world. If you're a hip-hop artist, shout out my hip-hop artists. I'm a big hip-hop head. I know you've interviewed a few amazing artists. So, you need to thrive. You need to be a hustler. You need to be ambitious. You need to be confident, right? Running, you have to be confident because it's a battle within. It's you versus you, right? At the end of the day, none of us are ever going to be first place at the marathon, right? So it's about me just being 1% better every single day. So Dyckman Run Club provides that and more. Like, we are the battery pack, and that's what everybody needs. You need a battery pack. Like, we don't got to settle. Why are we low to moderate income? Why? Like, why are we settling for that? Like, we don't got to settle. That can be where we start, and that's the beauty about running. It's not about how you start. It's about how you finish,
right?
And that's the most important thing, and that's what we do every single Thursday. We've been doing that for 5 years, and I believe that's honestly why we've grown so much, because it's all about motivation, and we try to really spread it to everybody. So it's almost like COVID-19, man. It just spreads. It's everybody. You get addicted to it, and it's at the end of the day, it's just the constant pursuit of success, and it's like an infinite journey because success is subjective. So we constantly pursuing it. You could buy a mansion. You could you could have 100 kids, and like Nick Cannon, how many kids he got, right? Like, if that's your goal, it's like you never, at the end of the day, it's infinite. So I think the most important thing is motivating others, and I do believe that's how you also develop a legacy, right? About how you impact others, and that's why when I first did my marathon, I didn't want to just take my medal and stay home, right? I wanted to inspire others to become marathoners, and that's truly what led us to where we are today.
Right. And the third part is the education part. And I feel one of the things you said earlier is that people sometimes shun what they don't understand. Like, it's easy to be like, whatever, I don't get it, so I'm going to talk bad about it. I'm going to be negative about it. But that's so much easier. Yes. Like, hate is easy, and love is hard. That's why it's not easy to just stick things through and to try to give people grace, So I figured with the inspiration, the motivation, and educating Black and brown people with running, health, the benefits, and it also is transferable skills, right? All of that confidence carries over to the workplace, your relationships. Like, you're just an overall, all-around better person, And I feel this a lot through my journey, just because a lot of the topics that I chose in the beginning were not the sexy topics, right? Mm-hmm. But I wanted to talk about childhood trauma. Yeah. Right? I wanted to talk about being emotionally unavailable, right? And what's the root of that? You know, so a lot of people, even with COVID, they tried to fix things that were on the surface, right? They were spending money on things that they thought would make them feel better, right? But internally, right, they did no work.
Yeah.
Right? So internally, we got to do that work because that's what's going to really bring us to fulfillment, you know, where you all around a better person, right? And when you're by yourself, when you're running by yourself, like you don't feel like alone or miserable. You just feel at peace with yourself.
Yes.
You know? So.
Love that. I agree.
Right.
Sure.
So what are some tips to start running?
Some tips to start running. Oh, there's a few. What do you think, Jenny? What's
Well, to be honest, it's just getting out the door.
Yes.
Simple. Getting up and getting out the door. Getting off the couch and getting out the door. As Elvin mentioned, a lot of people, you know, don't have running sneakers. That's fine. You can obviously use whatever you have and work your way to getting running sneakers as you progress your journey. But I think the most important, again, is getting up, getting out the door, and then starting with walking, right? A lot of people, you know, immediately take the train or take the bus to get to places. You know, sometimes, you know, taking those steps instead of taking the bus, instead of taking the train, you know, walk. And little by little, you'll see yourself advancing. And then when you're going specifically for a run, just run, walk. Run, walk.
Right.
Literally just build. And then you're able again to get to where you want to be. And trust me, I've seen so many runners literally become super fast, group 4 members, as they're doing that. And again, as they're starting their journey with DRC.
Right. Any favorite routes?
Yeah, of course. Dyckman. If you're not familiar with Dyckman is located in Upper Manhattan, New York City. It's one of the most amazing streets in the world. It's part of the Inwood community. Shout out Washington Heights. And honestly, I would say that my favorite routes are just running through Dyckman.
Yeah.
We have so many amazing parks. We're known for incline. We have every Thursday we do a new route. Shout out Cesar Baez.
Yes.
He's also a co-founder and our route scientist. So every Thursday he curates a brand new route. And you know, Jenny gave some great tips. Another tip is join a run club. You know, you're not alone. You don't have to do it alone. You know, we're here to help you. The great thing about our nonprofit is everything is completely free. So you can just come in, check us out, and a lot of the elements that we teach you can do on your own. So it's all about just getting out there and just get the movement going. But in terms of favorite route, definitely Dyckman, 100%. Running up and down Dyckman, there's no better street in the world.
Right. What does being a part of this club do for someone?
It can change your life. It can definitely change your life. You know, right now we're in Suicide Awareness Month, and there's so much going on. And when we think about suicide, it's suicide prevention is very important. And sometimes all it takes is a conversation to really help someone. You mentioned it. You know, a lot of individuals are dealing with things that you cannot see on the surface, right? And some of us just need outlets. We need outlets, right? And at the end of the day, running is a platform. It's an outlet, and it can change your life by getting out there, meeting people, getting that anger out, getting those emotions out. Take it out on the pavement. Take it out for a run. You'll feel a lot better. And honestly, besides that, you can network. You can get educated. You can get fit. You can meet people. You can also develop certain characteristics. Discipline, timeliness, interpersonal skills, just by being around people. At the end of the day, I'm a firm believer that iron sharpens iron, and you're a product of the 5 people you hang around with. Right. And if you're hanging around with marathoners and Olympians and people that are always, you know, increasing the goalposts, motivating, educating, I think is only going to make you a better person. Honestly, you don't even have to do nothing. Just by standing around them, you're already better than by you being indoors. And I do also want to say big shout out to you, Zoe, because you're giving us the opportunity to come out here and speak about these things. A lot of different podcasts and vlogs and just in general media, everybody wants to see the car crash. Everybody wants to stop, stare, take pictures, the hot topics, the trendy, the clickbaits. And, you know, sometimes it's hard for us to also, when we first started, now it's different, but when we first started, it was hard for us to get press opportunities because, you know, no one wants to really talk about the health education or the positivity, the good things that are going on. When we do the toy drives, when we give back the toys, when we do things that change people's lives, not a lot of people want to talk about it because it's not, you know, it's not trending. But I think that we're breaking that trend today. So we appreciate you. Running is something everyone can do. And in my opinion, running is the best medicine. You can support or mitigate almost everything through running and just being active. So big shout out for you to having us today, and just educating. You know, shout out also Royce the 5'9", one of my favorite bars. He's a rapper from Detroit. Education is powerless unless you acknowledge it. And I think that's one of the things that we try to do is always educate everybody. Like, hey, listen, this is how you can start running. These are the benefits. And it goes deeper than that. Nutrition, how you can fuel yourself, how you can talk to others, being part of a group. The great thing about us is that we also have programs for the youth. And I know you do as well. The youth is the future. And time is going like that. So a lot of the youth that maybe when you started your nonprofit, when we started Dyckman Run Club, they're not youth anymore. You know, now they're adolescents, now they're in college. And a lot of the things that we taught them, they're teaching others. So it's a great way to spread the love and education as well.
Right. I love that. And what I love about this also is that earlier, like you said, Dyckman is known for the restaurants and the nightlife and all those other things. And this is bringing kind of like that balance to it. You know what I'm saying? Like things that you could do during the day, things that you could do to make you feel better, and just overall wellness, right? Yeah. So do you recommend any sneakers to run in?
Well, I mean, to be honest, it all depends on maybe which race, you know, you're running. But to kind of start off, I mean, there's so many brands, though. I don't know if selecting one
we got to be careful
is
here.
The best.
We have a lot of partners.
I personally use Nike.
Just a recommendation.
Nike is my go-to be honest. I love, you know, the Alpha Flies, obviously, for our runs. I personally, again, use Nike. So that's definitely what I go for.
Yes, no, I think it really depends on you, and you have to figure out what works for you. And I think that you have to try out different sneakers. You know, there's a lot of brands in that market, or in the sport. Nike for sure, Brooks, New Balance, Adidas, and I think the most important thing is try out what works for you. Because I myself, I had a particular brand that I used to live and die by this brand, and I constantly kept getting injured. So I'm talking about 6-7 months on the bench, and every time I got healthy, I went right back to the same pair of sneakers, just because it was something that it was my lifestyle, what I knew, what I was, you know, what was. I thought it was cool. And now I completely shifted. I use another brand and it works much better and I'm injury free. So I think, you know, it depends on your body type, your size, you know, the type of race. Like Jenny said, my biggest recommendation is to try out a variety. And also, there's different running stores that you can also run and try them out on a treadmill. So see what works best for you. And also don't forget about the socks. A lot of time when you're new to running, it's like you get the sneakers, but then you don't get the socks. The socks gotta be dry fit. Because if not, then you can get other injuries as well that affect you in the long term.
That's good. That's good game right there.
Yeah.
So I took something off your website that a question that you asked featured runners, right? So there's 10 of them. So you guys each have 5, right? So we'll start with Jenny. How long have you been running?
Very tasty, cheesy, oniony, all of the above. One word to describe it, scrumptious. Right? We from the town, so we just gonna say pause first, but it melts in your mouth. You just love it. You know what I'm saying? I wear this shirt to sleep. How much I love 7th Street Burger, man. It's near and dear to my heart. You see the logo? It's near to my heart. That's how we do it, man. Peace.
I've been running since 2018. That's when I actually started, again, my first half marathon. And I've been able to progress my journey. I mean, I've run more than 30 races over the years. I personally have done 3 marathons, New York City, London, and I've done Philadelphia. And then I'm excited to announce that I've been chosen for the Tokyo Marathon.
Yeah.
Konnichiwa. March 1st, 2025, I'll be running Tokyo Marathon. So again, it's been literally quite a journey. So super grateful.
Right. So why did you start running and why do you continue to run?
I started running as a way to get in shape. You know, I was overweight growing up. One of my favorite snacks was Pop-Tarts. And I would have a Pop-Tart every morning. Like, that was literally my breakfast. I would have Pop-Tart and a little bottle of apple juice. I didn't know better. You know, I felt good right after. And then 3 hours later, it felt horrible, right? That's a sugar spike, sugar high, right? But you know what? I replaced that with the runner's high. So, you know, and that high is free and it has a lot of health benefits. So definitely, I recommend everyone to try that. But why I continue running today is because of it's just the people, man. The people that you impact. You know, the honestly, it sounds like cliche or whatever, but at the end of the day, like we literally saving lives. You know, when individuals are suicidal, or when they're overweight, or if someone that has diseases or just living a healthier life and being able to educate others on the health benefits, seeing the smiles on their faces. Everyone feels like a superhero when they cross that finish line and get that medal. So to me, some of the most gratifying moments at this point is actually the success of others. Like seeing someone that can't even run a mile. So a mile, and I know that we're using 5K, 10K, like everyone's a runner, but we got to break it down. Like a mile is 20 city blocks. So 20 city blocks is 1 mile. And an entry-level race is a 5K. 5K is 3 miles. So think of like 60 blocks. And a lot of individuals that when they first come to the club, they can't even run 1 block. So we have a walking group that you can get started with. But one of my biggest, what really fulfills me inside is seeing someone that starts walking and now they're doing a half marathon, which is 13 miles. That's 260 blocks, right? Non-stop. You know, a full marathon is 26 miles, right? And to see individuals do that and the sense of accomplishment and how proud they are, they'll go on Instagram and it's like, oh, the greatest moment of my life, you know, the Chicago Marathon or the New York City Marathon. That to me brings me a lot of joy and a lot of gratification because we were able to play just a small part in helping impact someone's life. So that's why I still do it today.
Right. So we can't talk about running without me shouting out my guy, Pat. Pat, that's my guy.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying?
Patrick.
Yeah, that's bro,
Patrick.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's bro right there. So, you know, I was going to shout you out early, but we like 40 minutes in. So you mean 35? So, hey, your shout out was mid-interview. And that's how I know you saw it. You feel me?
We love Patrick. We love what he does. He actually visited us. So that was really nice.
Amazing.
Yeah. I love his, compilation that he creates, visiting different clubs.
Super
in New York
trendy.
City.
Super
trendy. Yeah.
He's the guy.
So, really good.
I love because, all right, I met him from Henny Ball back in the day.
Okay.
So I love that, it was Henny Ball, at his loft in Yonkers. He had an NBA size hoop in his apartment.
Wow.
And Henny Ball it was like rules and everything. You got to make 3 shots. If you air ball, you can never play again, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's just a lot of pressure. Like it's like 60 people there.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's almost at the end of the night. So you lit. You've been drinking Henny for hours. I'm proud to say I made my 3 shots.
Oh, yeah.
Feel me? B Ford gave me a nice little nudge the last shot and one in your face. What's up? So to see him now with his run club, the content, the positivity, everything he's doing, like it should be highlighted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want a bunch. I hope Elvin and Jenny and Pat, I want to see a bunch of those kids in my school. Like, you know what I'm saying? I want them to see these things.
Next collaboration. Let's do it.
Absolutely. We're definitely going to get
We're
there.
excited.
The next question is, how did you get involved with DRC?
So, Elvin and I date. We met at the bank. And as Elvin mentioned, in 2019, well, he's been running prior to that, but him and his fellow 3 co-founders started the club. And again, being obviously in a relationship with him, I was able to see how everything started. We literally had sign-up sheets at our Cardio Thursday back in 2019. And to see the growth now where we do have our membership portal, we have our site, DyckmanRunClub.org.
Great website, by the way.
Yeah, you can check us out there, take a look at our memberships and everything that we have to offer. But again, just, starting our relationship and motivating each other through running as well. In many relationships, there's a lot of things that motivate one another, but to be able to accomplish, these marathons and these races together, that has been, quite the journey as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Do we have to send this episode to HR or anything like that?
No, where to? Oh, HR.
We are HR.
All right, cool. Say that.
We are HR.
So we're good. We're good. So next one for you. Fun facts about yourself.
Fun facts. I love hip hop. I'm a big hip hop I guess hip hop head.
Yeah.
But I feel old saying that, hip hop head. But yeah, my favorite rapper is Eminem. Definitely love Eminem. But I love all New York City rappers as well. I grew up on Dipset, G Unit. I love hip hop. Like that's literally what I listen to when I run. And then other than that, I also love mixed martial arts. So I love combat sports. So that's like my outside of running in terms of like entertainment, hip hop, and combat sports, my hearts.
Right. I'm interviewing J.R. Ryder next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Let's
so-
go. Shout out.
Yeah, facts.
J.R. Ryder.
But, no shots at anyone that I've ever worked with or like that. But you guys are lit outside of work. Right? And I feel like that be the problem. Like, people got no motion. Like, go get some motion. Go do something that makes you happy. Like, I love being at work.
Yes.
I love the kids. Everything I do is for the youth.
Beautiful.
Right? And then outside of work, I have a great hobby in podcasting.
Yes.
And Slice of Excellence is my baby. Like, people just need to find passionate things and try different things.
Yeah.
Not live for the approval of people. People gonna talk whether it's good or bad.
Agree.
Whether you broke or you live at your mother house, people gonna have something to say regardless.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Whether you live up top or you live at the bottom.
Yes.
You're not gonna, there's no escaping the criticism.
Facts.
At all.
And you have to live every day to the fullest.
Yeah.
Don't worry about anything else.
Yeah, everyone's gonna have an opinion, and that's why I love what you're doing, what we're doing, because honestly, it takes courage to do this. What I notice is that people are scared of trying new things because they're scared of failing. But at the end of the day, to me, success or a winner or whatever you define as winning, that's just someone that failed so many times but didn't give up.
Right.
And that's the key. Like before the Run Club, I was actually like, I've tried different things. And one thing that I noticed is that a lot of people don't.
Right.
You got to figure out what works for you. Maybe, podcasting may not be for everybody, but maybe it's dancing. Maybe it's, I've met so many talented people that create clothes. And I'm like, I couldn't create an outfit if you, like Jenny helps me out. Like, wear this, wear that. Like, I don't have time for that, but it's like, you got to find out what makes you happy and then try to find ways to, like, not necessarily monetize it, but try to find ways to build platforms. Right. I think that's very, very important. And a lot of people, they don't know how to do it, or they lack the courage to do so. Get out there and do it. Make it happen.
Right. People always ask me, how do I start a podcast? I'm like, just release an episode. Mm-hmm. Just do it. I can't. If you look at the first episode of Conversation with Zoe, it's 2 minutes long. Right? It's 2 minutes. It's called Your Journey. Right? I was reading the book The Alchemist, and I was in Austria. So I was in this newfound world, like literally just like the book. Yeah. And here I am finding my purpose, seeking my passions, playing baseball. And I just had 2 minutes for you. Like that's what I had. That's right. And as we grow up, so then I was watching the Khalif Browder documentary, may he rest in peace. And when you're outside of America by yourself, not really no friends, like that documentary just hit me like so hard, like a ton of bricks. So my second episode is about Khalif Browder, like. And it just kept going, So it really wasn't. And it's funny. Shout out to my guy, Mega Gas, my son Fat Matt. He was like, "Yo, like, it seems like you just got to a point and just kept going, right?" But COVID was this is either gonna do this or you're not. Yes, that's what COVID did for me. And I was home, I had a phone, dropping content. And different topics, having different conversations. And it was really like doing the Instagram lives with people that I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at interviewing people. So like, let me start connecting with people that I know, right? So I went to Ohalos for high school, then people from middle school, people from different jobs, college. So like, let's see who's doing something. And I feel like we can kind of mirror that blueprint. You know what I'm saying? People, how can we share how you got where you got? You know what I'm saying? Like trials and errors. Let's get to that adversity though, because that's the biggest thing. Like people really just see like, oh, 6 Series and condo, but it's like, nah, like you could have been homeless at one point. You feel me? Like you could have lost your mom in high school. Like there's these things that like either you're gonna rise above it or you're not sometimes. You know what I'm saying? So in every episode, I want people to see those things. You know what I'm saying? Things that when you're hanging around the 1%, they telling you these things. And how do we get Black and brown to really rally around that? You know what I'm saying? Things that are not so sexy, but are gonna help you feel better. You know what I'm saying? So therapy is gangster. That's one of my episodes, right? And that's when I was in therapy and I was like, damn, like I really wish like my friends would do this more or I think it'll be beneficial. Couples therapy did that too. So I'm like, yo, sometimes we don't know.
Yes.
And we don't have the tools and the resources. But hey, this is a tool and a resource that can help you get there, right? So why not try it, right? So then to now see everything that has unfolded, it's crazy to me sometimes. You know, I get stopped in the street and it's crazy, like,
Congratulations.
you know, so thank you. You know, so
Super
you know,
inspiring.
I'm just trying to make education fly. Education is beautiful, you know.
It is beautiful.
And you guys are two Latinx people in the financial industry, beautiful, running, beautiful. So it's like, let's promote these things because it's another option.
Of course.
It's another way out,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of people feel like, all right, you're gonna play ball, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that, you're gonna die. Like, but those may not be for everybody. Well, hey, MTA driver's cool, right? There's tons of certifications out there. There's nothing wrong with Uber Eats. They don't kick you off the app. Somebody's always delivering something, right? If you got 2 jobs, what you could do? Instacart the food to the house. So everything is been, you know, so there's money out there, you know what I'm saying? But with the money, right, comes also taking care of yourself, right? Mental health, right? Super important, right? A lot of our parents, you know, super angry all the time, you know what I'm saying? Or just the thing that they say, you know, the thing that they hold on to, you start to feel it and it starts to show physically, you know, coming from a mental state, you know? So a lot of these questions we already went through, but just for a little bit of spice, how do you get kicked out of the Dyckman Run Club?
Spice.
Just a little spice. You know, how do you get kicked out of the club?
That's hilarious.
How do you get kicked out of the club?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Anybody been kicked out?
Question. That's a great question. Wow. How do you get kicked out of the Dyckman Run Club? We don't kick anybody out.
Right.
We love everybody. You know, that's the corporate answer. You know,
Right.
You know. I mean, we have community guidelines. You know, we
Right.
definitely want to make sure that everyone that we're
Have a safe space.
exactly. We want to make sure we have safe spaces. You know, we accept everyone, all forms of life, all gender identity, pets, skaters, bikers. You know, babies. You know, there's no age limit, so we want to make sure that everyone's respectful of the space. You know, no discrimination, things like that. So we do have community guidelines. So I would say if you break one of those guidelines, and then
a conversation is had, you know, just to make sure that you mediate and you kind of provide an understanding.
Right.
And obviously there's no feelings hurt and so forth. But again, it's something that you eventually get the 2 parties together and make it work and go from there. But it's never anyone like, unless you want to leave on your own, that's totally up to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So someone's been kicked out before. I'm saying. It sounds like
I
me.
plead the fifth.
Someone's been kicked out before.
I plead the fifth. No, but you know, I when we pivoted to the nonprofit space, like we really are health educators. So, you know, we're a service to community and we try to educate everyone and provide that service as to the best of our ability. But, you know, not everyone may want or desire that particular service. So everything's always voluntarily, you know, so it's always at will. So we always have that open door, you know, if you want to come in, come out. We have members that they join us, they'll be with us every single Thursday and then take 2 years off. And then we just welcome them back in with open arms,
Right.
you know, so that's what it's about. Like we really are a pillar of the community uptown. So no kicking out.
Right. Love that. So I definitely want to get you guys at Career Day. So we always have like Career Day at my school.
Oh,
and that'd be great, you know, for people just to see not the average people that you see. And definitely shout out to Wheezy. She's always giving me shout outs on the But she owns this, she's one of the owners of the studio. And she came to my Career Day to talk about podcasting.
Nice.
And my school's a little apprehensive. You know, I know a lot of her brand is about sex and things like that. But I'm like, yo, like we're getting a millionaire about to walk through this door for free, you know, off the strength of knowing me. So you guys better act right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And her brand owning this studio, there's so many good things as far as business and where she's come from and working with Kenya Barris and all of these things that we can highlight, you know, in this content space. You know what I'm saying? So
we would love to do that. I mean, I think that especially with our youth, we definitely have to teach financial literacy.
Yes.
And again, you know, that's obviously one space. And then obviously the health space as well, right? And how to continue to stay active, you know, throughout any struggles that, you know, the youth may be going through. So we will be super happy to attend that Career Day.
Absolutely. And stocks is such a beautiful thing. You know, I started in 2018. Dollar cost average is my best friend. You know, I've been investing $10 a week in a stock for 6 years.
Awesome.
You know, so I've seen Apple, Tesla, all of these things
Yes.
boom. Chipotle is a boomer. Like
Yes.
Chipotle was at 3 racks at one point. Like, so it's like it's so many things that we like consume. Like we're consumers, right?
Yeah.
Right, but we don't have this producer mindset is the word. We don't have this producer mindset, right? So the consumer is only the people that buy running sneakers, but the producer is the person that gives you a place to go run with those sneakers, and that's Dyckman Run Club.
Absolutely.
Right? So that's what I love about this, and it's such a great thing with people investing their money for their tomorrow, understanding what your 401k is and what they're doing with it, and Vanguards and Robinhood and all these platforms that you just got to take time and learn and read and because it's all mindset. You know, Rich Dad Poor Dad changed my mind. Think and Grow Rich, a Black choice, changed a lot for me. Yes. And it was just like, now it's just contributing, right? So everybody's contributing to their future, right? So how often are you doing that? And I've literally seen in about, you know, a few months, you know, you'll own a share. You can buy piece by piece and then you'll have the whole thing. You know what I'm saying?
And you see the growth. I mean, to be honest, you know how much money we spend every single day buying a cup of coffee, you know?
Oh, yeah.
How about, you know, contributing, like you said, those $10, those $20. I think that goes a long way.
No, and also, you know, if you do get sick or if you do develop health issues, medicine is very expensive. Running is free, and running is the best medicine. You know, you can do that any single time. You know, during the pandemic, even during COVID, a lot of the individuals that passed away, unfortunately, they had underlying health issues, and a lot of those underlying health issues, you could have mitigated it through being more active, through cardiovascular activity. So that's one of the things, the beautiful thing about running. You know, health and wellness and wealth, they go hand in hand. You need a happy marriage because it don't matter how much money you got. Guess what? You can't buy health. You can't buy your youth, right? So I know personally millionaires that they would pay an infinite amount of money to try to get their youth back, and you can't. But guess what? You can salvage yourself. You can literally get yourself, create a better version just by getting out there, being active. Another thing about running is that our platform, we've been able to use it to support so many other social causes because it's such a beautiful platform. So we've been able to support different around during the pandemic, I believe it was like around 2019, we did a Breonna Taylor run, right? So it's like, even right now, suicide awareness. For the last 4 years, we've done a breast cancer run. So it's like, you know, we've been able to use our platform to also promote different things that's going on in our culture. And I think it's a beautiful thing to get people together for a positive thing, to also bring awareness to different social causes.
Yes.
Right. What are the goals and the dreams for DRC?
That's a great question. I think the long-term goals, honestly, like we definitely want to continue to inspire, continue to educate, and also to create a cultural hub in Uptown Manhattan where we can offer all these resources, because a lot of times it's a lack of information. You know, there are a lot of nonprofits that do similar work and offer amazing resources, but it's not sexy, it's not trendy to obtain that information, right? If someone tells you, hey, you know what, I have we're giving what, like free shots or free CPR training, you know, no one's gonna go, right? But what we're trying to do, we're trying to make it fun. We're like, hey, listen, come through. All of our races we have a national anthem singer, we have bands, we have artists come out, do songs, and we're trying to make it fun. We do a lot of collaborations. So we've had, shout out David Jones, who just got signed to the NBA. Also Uplift New York, Domingo. We had a NBA player, and he joined one of our runs and ran with us. And the other type of things that they impact the youth, because they're like, hey, you know what? Who's that? Oh, that's this artist, or that's this basketball player. Right. So what we're trying to do is bring a different flavor to the nonprofit market or nonprofit sector, to make it fun, make it accessible. And I think the dream and the long-term goal for us is to really get, you know, real estate up there in that space, you know, being able to have an office, a cultural hub. Anytime someone could come in, they could learn how to run, they can access different resources, they could get financial literacy, they can get resources to start a business, maybe they could get access to a studio, to do a podcast, to drop an album, whatever the case is. I think that there's a lot of amazing resources, and I would love to put it all together in one hub and have that uptown, because we don't have that. You know, I didn't grow up on that.
Right. You can run, rap, and read.
Bars.
Love
Hard,
it.
you feel me?
Oh, you sound like you're freestyling.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's episode
we might
like
have to do a
212,
mixtape,
something like
Zoe.
that. Listen,
We'll sponsor it.
I've done a song or two, you know what I mean?
Okay.
That's a fact, I just it's just a creative thing. Like, I get out there, and so I have a song on iTunes, actually.
Nice.
And my rap alias is Father of Hendrix. So Hendrix is my first son.
Okay.
And the song is named Brand New Diaper. Right?
Oh.
And it's based off a true story. Like,
Yeah.
it's 4 a.m, he's losing his mind, and he's fed, he's dry, nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
But I sang to him, I just got a brand new diaper.
Hey.
My daddy used a brand new wipey. You know what I'm saying? He's just giggling, laughing, he go to sleep.
Aww.
So I sent my mans a voice note. Shout out to my guy Swab. I sent him a voice note. And he's like, yo, that's catchy.
That's
You know what
awesome.
I'm saying? So,
I need to listen.
yeah, I got you, man. I'm the king of dad rap. Self-proclaimed king of dad rap. It's real out here.
Yes.
But last 2 questions. What would be your message to your younger self?
Ooh. You'll start.
We don't quit at halftime. You don't score until you score. I got that tatted on my right arm. That's one of my philosophies. And to me, what that means is, honestly, the job is not done until it's done. And I feel like, we have so much to contribute to the amazing city that gave us everything we have and gave us, our parents, the opportunity to be here and develop our families. And I feel like sometimes people don't give back. They forget, to pave the way and to pay it forward. So that's my desire, to pay it forward. And that would be my message to my younger self. I wish I discovered running at an earlier age, but it was all part of God's plan. So I'm excited that I was able to do it now, and to be able to have the impact at this magnitude is just a blessing in disguise.
For me, I think is you can do anything you put your mind to. I think over the years, I've been able to grow and learn and become the powerful woman that I am today, right? In terms of, my career, in terms of how I set my goals and I reach them. So I think it's more, again, you can do anything you put your mind to. I feel like all of your experiences and all of your, challenges that you go through in life is something that, again, is going to allow you to flourish and learn from those.
Absolutely. So let us know the date of the next race, website, where we can find you guys. Any shout outs, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Floor is yours.
Yes. But before we do that, if it's okay with you, we have a gift for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
We have
awesome,
a gift,
awesome.
right? So I grew up on hip hop, right? So I love bling bling. Like
Right.
I wish in our rules now we can't wear too much bling bling.
Right.
But one of the things that is special to us is we created the Dyckman 5K,
Right.
which is our anniversary, right? And this is what we're trying to create, is the biggest cultural health and wellness day in Uptown Manhattan, citywide. New York City wide, right?
Yes.
New York City wide.
New York City
And we're
wide.
bringing that energy uptown. We're trying to connect entertainment with running, with sports, and it all culminates in a race. Walk, run. You could walk, you could run it, and it's called the Dyckman 5K. So what we have for you here today, where's the camera?
Drum roll.
We have a commemorative Dyckman
Wow.
5K.
Well, that's beautiful.
Bling, bling, bling.
Metal.
Well, that's
Yes.
fire. Appreciate you, my
Yes,
brother.
thank you so much for having us.
This is fire.
Enjoy it.
Yeah, I gotta wear this to
Oh,
work
wow.
on Monday.
Yes.
Tell them what's up, man. We outside. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you're gonna come October 19th.
Yeah, for sure. I got some hookahs, so I'm ready.
Ooh,
You know what I'm
okay,
saying?
I
Yeah,
love it.
hookah poppy, you heard?
Yes.
Not hookah, it's hookah, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Hookah after.
Yeah, hookah after, you know what I'm saying?
No, but
Yeah.
thank you so much for having us. But yeah, my name is Elvin, aka the Marathon Don. I run marathons. I bring you along. You could check us out, Dyckman Run Club, DyckmanRunClub.org. Dyckman Run Club on all social media platforms is going down October 19th. The first ever collaboration with the Department of Transit. Big shout out to the Commissioner, Idanis,
Yes,
for believing in us, for
Idanis
believing in our
Rodriguez.
dream. He's partnering with us. We're shutting the streets down. The first ever race in Dyckman. We're so excited to be hosting it October 19th. Get your tickets now. We're going to be out there. Zoe's going to be out there with us.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
big shout out to my co-founders, Caesar, Ramon Bito, Edward.
Ed.
Shout out to my family. Shout out to the leadership, Chris Larber, Lewis, Alex, everybody that supports Dyckman Run Club and made us who we are today. And of course, big shout out to the community that embraced us and all our amazing members.
Yes, yes. For me, to be honest, I think that, again, whether you're a walker, whether you're a runner, you have to be there October 19th. This is going to be our 5-year anniversary. We can't thank our members enough for supporting us throughout the years. To be honest, we wouldn't be where we're at without them, right? Without them supporting us and believing us and being part of all of our events and our community, right? Idanis Rodriguez, we thank you so much for, believing in us. We know that you're a Dyckman native, and for you to still live in the community and believe in what we do and our mission, that goes a long way. So we can't wait to see everyone October 19th. And again, whether you're a runner, walker, we see you there.
Absolutely, man. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, comment. I see you guys uptown every day, really, but definitely October 19th. Woo! Peace and love. We out. Take care.
Yes, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Peace and love, world. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment, support the channel, show your love. You know what I'm saying? We have a great conversation week in and week out. You never know who's coming. You never know what we're going to do. But at the end of the day, it's all about peace and love. So make sure you like, subscribe, comment.